sunburns are fading, the sand is vacuumed out of the car, and kids are restless watching cartoon reruns. The summer is coming to a close, marking the return to school. TGMC would like to share some tips for getting back into the school groove the healthy way.
All right, to your health with Terrebonne General. Let's meet our guest tonight if we can. There we go. Carrie Lawrence on the right and Abby Poche on the left. Welcome to the program. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
All right, Carrie, we're going to start with you. School routine.
Yes.
How do you get them back in it, the children?
Well, there's a few different things you could do. First, of course, during the summer, kids go to bed a lot later. They tend to sleep in a lot later. So you want to try to get kids back into routine of getting supper earlier, baths earlier, getting to bed earlier, because they're going to be having to get up a whole lot earlier.
That's probably hard to do, isn't it? Sometimes?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you got to just sort of make it happen.
Yes, exactly. Also, back to school shopping for new clothes, backpacks, school supplies, all that kind of thing. All that kind of stuff will help get them back into that routine and get them thinking about school, and hopefully they'll get a little bit excited about going back to school.
All right, let me ask you this. I heard it when I was a kid that breakfast was so important, but why is it so important, and what are some good choices that you can make for your children in breakfast?
Yes, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, which everybody has heard. It helps kids to pay attention better. They tend to focus better and remember a lot of the things that they learn in class. And protein foods are the best to increase alertness. So good options for breakfast would be like peanut butter on toast or peanut butter on waffles, eggs, milk, or yogurt. Also, it helps kids to maintain a healthy weight. Kids who eat breakfast daily are more likely to maintain a healthy weight. Starting off the day with breakfast gets their bodies moving, gets their metabolism burning, so they burn more calories throughout the day. And also they get more of the nutrients that their body needs during the day. And one other thing is that kids who eat breakfast tend to get sick less often. It's a fact that kids who eat breakfast daily get sick less often, and kids learn by watching everything that we do. So it's a good thing that we eat breakfast to be a good example for them, and try to make breakfast nutritious and also fun. If kids aren't really happy about breakfast or they don't tend to like breakfast foods, that's okay. They can have other things besides breakfast foods. If they like spaghetti and meatballs, they can have that for breakfast. If they tend to like peanut butter and jelly sandwich, things like that, just something is better than nothing.
Now you said something I didn't know. Protein foods make you pay attention better.
Yes, it does.
I never knew that.
Yes.
I'm going to start eating a lot of peanut butter and stuff like that. I promise you, Abby, we are getting to you soon, okay? But Carrie, healthy, fun lunch ideas. What are some examples of that?
Well, it's good to try to make lunch a little bit different and interesting, just because it can get boring and monotonous. So different things you can do is to try to make kids their own Lunchables. Kids tend to like the little fun Lunchable packages. If you could cut up low-fat cheese squares and turkey or ham and put that on little dinner rolls so they can make their own little mini sandwiches is one option. Also, you can make a wrap, like you can get a whole wheat tortilla wrap, and any kind of things that they like, turkey, ham, cheese, lettuce, tomato, pickle, wrap that up, and then you can cut it into 1-inch slices and make like little pinwheel sandwiches. Also, peanut butter and jelly is usually one staple that everybody has, but you can pair peanut butter with other things to make it more interesting, like apples, bananas, pretzels, and things like that. Also, fruit tends to be daily in lunches. It's something that's easy to pack, but it can get a little boring. So what you could do is take a bunch of different kinds of fruit, cut them up, make fruit kebabs, get low-fat yogurt to dip it in, and you always want to make sure that you have a good variety. So you want to each week try new different fruits maybe that kid hasn't had before.
Yeah, but you leads me into the best healthy after-school snacks. I think they're going to put it on the screen for us.
Okay.
To sort of, you mentioned some of this already, but this goes a little further. Tell us about those.
After-school snacks, of course, all kids tend to be hungry right when they get home from school, but you usually don't want them to get too full because then they're not going to want to eat dinner. So usually what I tell people, fruits and vegetables are always good options to do. You just want to have like low-fat dressing or yogurt to dip them in, and that's something easy that kids can make themselves. Also, if you want to try something different, you can freeze grapes or bananas. It's especially good for during these hot months. Cut them up and they can dip those in yogurt also. Another good option would be dairy products, yogurt, cheese, cottage cheese. They're good sources of calcium and protein, and that usually tends to hold people over more, so that'll definitely hold them over till dinner time. And then almonds, peanut butter, unsalted peanuts with crackers, or on bread would be fine to do, and that'll help curb hunger till dinner time also.
All right. Abby, you thought we forgot about you, didn't you? And before I get to Abby, the drinks. What about the drinks real quick?
Yes, definitely. Drinks, it's good to avoid the high sugar drinks, your sodas, your Kool-Aids, and also juice. Most people think of juice, but juice does tend to be very high in sugar. So it's best, of course, water is always the best option, but you do have your picky, kids who really don't care for water all that much. And so you can do the flavored waters. And also, I tell people to try the crazy or fun colored straws. That tends to help kids to drink more. But also milk. We definitely kids need to get their calcium in. So it's good to have a milk option. If they don't like the white milk, you can always try the strawberry or chocolate, just as long as they get the milk in to get the calcium that they need.
Trying to get that calcium. Okay, Abby, you have something that you brought with you,
Yes.
and I know you want to bring it up because it's a backpack, and I've heard so much about backpacks, and I guess the question would be, how do you know if it's more helpful or harmful for your kids? And I think you're going to give us a reason why.
Yeah. Well, first, a lot of times we forget that these kids are lugging these around because there's so much in them. So we tend to forget about what's the appropriate way to use a school bag versus what's the inappropriate way to use a school bag. And when we use this improperly, we can have children with back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, anything that affects the musculoskeletal system in a negative way. And with that prolonged improper use over time, what can happen is they can have long-term deficits, which would probably require further intervention. So one of the most important things that we need to remember with the school bags is we need to make sure that the school bag is no more than 15% of their body weight. For example, if a child weighs 100 pounds, we don't want that school bag to be any more than 15 pounds. If a child weighs 70 pounds, we don't want that school bag to be more than 10.5 pounds because that could just further cause damage to their spine. And these children are growing, and anything that affects that would be negative if it's too heavy.
Why they didn't have those rules when I went to school? It all came later. A lot of research. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's hold that thought. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have more with Carrie Lawrence and Abby Poche when we come back to Your Health with Terrebonne General Medical Center.
I'm very involved at Trinity Episcopal Church. My first experience at Mary Bird Perkins convinced me what a fabulous facility it was. The technology is state of the art. I know that because I was treated for a brain tumor on my optic nerve. My name is Cheryl Lane. I knew I needed to be close to my family, my friends, and my church. I'm thankful we have Mary Bird Perkins in our community. It's such a wonderful asset.
Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center at TGMC.
Think of 6 men you know. One of them will get prostate cancer. Early detection can save a life. Make an appointment with the experts. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center at TGMC.
Together a crew of top specialists, and you can do amazing things. Cardiac care at TGMC. It all begins here.
All right, welcome back. We're back with our guests from Terrebonne General Medical Center, Carrie Lawrence and Abby Poche. And Abby, we're going to come back to you. The proper height of the backpack on the back, what should it be?
Well, it's kind of difficult to get everybody squared away and appropriately fitted, but you do your best. With the school bag, you want the height of the school bag to extend approximately 2 inches below your shoulder blades. Sometimes they come a little bit higher, and that means they're actually wearing them snugly. And it goes down to your waist level, preferably resting on your lower back and that curve right there. And that should do the trick for most people, most students.
I'm amazed at how much research they've done on this, and they have, and I've heard a lot of stories about it, but that's a good thing. Now, when you're loading up the backpack, what are some tips that you could offer moms or dads that are loading their kids' backpack?
This is very similar. You probably hear a lot with even adults, keeping the load close to you when you're lifting things. Keeping everything closer to your center of gravity will benefit you better. So you want to make sure that those heavier books, if you have to carry them, are closest to the back of the school bag, which means they're going to be resting closest to the child's back. And then as things get lighter, you want to bring those out more to the front of the school bag. Okay. And so you're not risking the chance that they're hanging out backwards because of all of that weight on their back, and they're holding themselves more in a neutral alignment versus being all crooked.
Okay. Now, if I'm shopping for a backpack, or a parent watching is shopping, how do they know they're getting the healthy one or the good one? What do they look for?
Well, you want to, obviously they're generic. They're not made for one particular person versus another. So if you have a smaller individual versus a taller individual, you need to take that into consideration. Are the straps adjustable like you see here? Can you pull them lower for a smaller child to make it to where it can ride higher up on their backs? Do they have pads that are shoulder straps that are padded so that it helps evenly distribute that weight on those shoulders? Because the more you have and the less thickness you have in that pad, then it'll just bear weight down even more on those shoulders, and you don't want that.
That hurts, for sure.
Yeah.
I want to come back to Carrie. Carrie, we were talking about breakfast a while ago. Can you give me examples of what a healthy breakfast would be?
Sure. Like we had said before, you always want to have protein for breakfast because that is definitely going to help to increase the alertness while the kids are at school. But also you want to pair that with a carbohydrate also. So good examples would be eggs with toast, cheese on toast, peanut butter on toast or peanut butter on waffles, cereal with milk, fruit and yogurt. You can make a smoothie that's blended with yogurt, milk, and fruit of your choice. Or, like I said, if the kids aren't particularly fond of breakfast foods, you could always do a peanut butter sandwich, turkey sandwich with cheese, spaghetti with meat sauce, or whatever else that they like. But like I said, something's better than nothing.
Pizza slice, too.
Yeah.
That's not all bad, kids. Come on. I mean, that's pretty good stuff there. All right. And also, Carrie, hot weather seems to be the norm. Now, 100-degree weather. After school activities, what can you recommend for kids? Yeah,
kids definitely, that is a risk. They definitely need to stay hydrated throughout the day. Definitely drinking fluids throughout the day. I know it's kind of hard with class, but in between classes, get to those water fountains. And also after school, making sure they're taking constant breaks. During their sporting activity, drinking water, Powerade, Gatorade, everything like that to stay hydrated.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. Carrie, Abby, thank you for being on. Great tips, by the way. I appreciate that. And pizza slice. I like that. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more here on Bayou Time. Don't go away.